All right, we are live, and now, I believe everyone has been waiting for this episode because we have a very young, dashing, and also at the same time, very humble and generous entrepreneur that's here, right? But what I want to ask you guys this question is this: if let's say you had this opportunity of your lifetime, okay, open inverted comma, opportunity of your lifetime to attend a lesson, okay, and this lesson is not taught in school, but it's in prison, how would that make you feel? Hi, my name is Winston, and I'm your host for the Legacy Show, and today it's my real honor and pleasure to have Winston in the house. Okay, this is not my house, this is his house, okay? All right, so I'm really grateful to have him in this podcast, and I would like to welcome him onto the show. Now, let's welcome Winston. Woo-hoo. All right, thank you so much for appearing on the show. I really appreciate it, and also at the same time, I wouldn't want to steal the mic from you, okay? So I would like you to answer this first question. Okay?
It's okay.
I would like you to answer this first question, but of course, you guys would have read the whole caption about how amazing he is, how amazing this gentleman is, right? So I don't want to steal the mic. Now, Winston, do you mind if you share with my audience a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
I think before I share a bit myself, I want to thank Winston once again for putting me on the spot, because I've never done this kind of live talk before in my life ever, and it took me a while to decide whether I want to share this, on live, actually, my story, which is a little bit embarrassing and somewhat kind of emotional roller coaster for me.
Okay.
But I think I shared with him, and he felt that this could be something that would be a blessing to many of you out there.
Yes.
So my name is Winston. I'm a father of 3. Although I look like we are like the same age, like I'm maybe almost double your age.
Yep, I know, right? But you are someone that I really respect. And,
thank you.
I don't want to steal the mic. Come on, carry on.
So I'm a father of 3. I've been very fortunate and very blessed, and I want to thank God for that I'm able to be home with my kids, with my 3 daughters, and be able to have a business that is kind of like more or less autopilot. I work maybe less than 6 hours or 4 hours a week.
Wow.
With what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
And it's a blessed situation that I'm in right now. So of course, every person that you see that is successful don't always start out this way.
Yep.
And I think he has already blurted out something something interesting about me is that I was in prison. I didn't work in prison.
Okay.
I went into prison. I did work in prison, but not as a prison officer. Well,
okay. Okay. So, you mentioned to me that you have been, into this prison for a while, for about, I believe it's about few years, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to sentence. Well, to cut the story short, something that I did. Okay, in 2000. Back in 2005 or 2007, my father started a business, and the business was covered in red. We were 6 figures in debt. And during that period of time, I was very interested to learn online marketing. So I will not share names, but I ended up working for 2 internet marketers. So I worked for one of the internet marketers that was doing seminars, and I was very, very, amazed at how people run to the back and sign up for courses and things like that. So I didn't have money to sign up for the course, but someone gave me an opportunity to be the videographer for them, and I ended up making friends with them, and they saw that I was very keen in internet marketing, so they asked me to work for them. So I ended up working for one of them.
Yep.
Well, apparently I did something that was of a mistake, but I didn't felt if I went back in time, it would change anything, because back then I really was desperate. My dad just passed on with cancer. We were 6 figures in debt.
Okay.
At that point in time, I was just thinking, I can't build we all know that in internet marketing, you need to build a mailing list, right? An email list of subscribers.
Yep.
I didn't feel that I have enough time to build that up to pay off the debt. So I did something that I shouldn't do. I inserted a code into a ClickBank website, of someone's ClickBank website. And what I did was it overrides people's cookie. What I mean by that is that if anyone gets an affiliate link and you refer to someone online that clicks on the affiliate links and go to the website to buy the products, the commission will go to me instead of someone else.
Okay.
So I will override that person. Okay. So that's what I did for more than a year, and I took almost. I can't really know the exact figure because I also took some of the money that I made there and did some pay-per-click advertising as well. So it was a mix of all, but total, I had about 200,000 US in commission around there.
Wow. Okay.
And in 2009, ClickBank found out, and because people were complaining to ClickBank, okay? And because they were complaining to ClickBank, and ClickBank had to ask the person who owns the website, like, what's happening? How come there's someone's overriding the cookie, you know? And so I was scared, the boss that I was working for, so I confessed and I told him. Long story short, I was charged 44 charges of Computer Misuse Act, which means I faced a maximum of one charge imprisonment of 6 years. And that was the worst time in my life because it was my kids, my wife was pregnant with my twin daughters. So I don't know if you know anyone who's in a situation like that. So I was distraught because I was thinking, if I go in for 4 years and 44 years and each one is 1 year, which means I will only get to see my daughter when they are 44 years old.
Yeah. So
that was very that was a very excruciating moment for me because during that period, I didn't know what to say to my wife, but we thank God for God, and it was faith that kept me going. And of course, during that period of time, I had no way out. I was thinking, how can I, feed my family? All I was thinking of was I was willing to exchange my life for anything that can allow my family to survive. So somehow God opened the door, and I went in real estate full time with no experience. And within my first month, my commission was a good 6-figure. Nice. And I was top in ERA in March 2009 in the first month of me going full time into real estate.
Wow.
And subsequently, because of the internet marketing skills that I had before, I was able to garner a lot of leads online with real estate, and I transacted, I think, within a year more than $80 million in properties. And then after that, in June 2010, I went to the court. I was charged 44 charges, and one charge, so 1 month, one charge. So that will be 44 months. Of course, they have a 30% remission, which means 2 years, 9 months. I went in for 2 years, and I was 9 months on tagging.
Okay.
So that was a little bit history about that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I believe all of you that's tuning in right now, okay, be it in US, be it in Finland or any part of the world, like I believe different prison, different system, but of course you guys would have known that going through this tough time is gonna drive you nuts. Like literally, you are gonna miss your family. You're gonna miss a lot of the time, especially months in the prison, and you're gonna be mixing with different type of people that are not entrepreneurs, but they are ex-gangsters or still current gangsters, and etc. You would have known that the amount of time that you have is precious over there, right? When you realize that, hey, I'm left with this amount of time. Every day you're counting down, and then you want to quickly meet your family. You want to quickly leave. You want to quickly go and meet your family after that, right?
Yeah, in fact, I cried myself to sleep for the first 3 months.
Wow.
At least first 2 weeks, I was in depression.
Okay.
And I was thinking whether should I I don't know what to do. So we were in cell for 6 months. I was kept in cell, and I don't know how I survived that.
Okay.
Thank God in prison they have this yellow ribbon project. They have this thing where you can get to work, get a job inside. So I ended up having a job. Any job would have been better than being in a cell for 22 hours.
Yeah, I agree.
So that drove me nuts. And one of the most lowest moment for me in prison was there was one thing that I did something wrong. Okay, I could have actually came out earlier on tagging. In fact, tagging, because I was a first-time offender, I would have been able to come out on tagging. In case those who don't know what tagging is, which means you get to come out come out of prison and you be with your family between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you got to be home. You have a tag that's attached to your leg and a device that you have to install at home, and you have to be home by between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you got to be home by 7 p.m. Okay. So I was supposed to get 1 year. Instead, I had 9 months. So I was set back 3 months. Now, not knowing, I thought I might not even get tagging. So that was the worst period because I missed my family so much, right? Every letter meant a lot to me. So every card we would buy, and we would write. And I remember I went to get this card called Hari Raya card, which is actually meant for Malays. It's not meant for Chinese. But to me, I felt that, hey, you know what? A card is a card, right? So I bought the card and I wrote it and they allowed me to buy the card, but I'm not supposed to order it, but I willfully ordered the card. A bit of still rebellious nature in me. So I wrote the card and I sent it out, and they always have to vet through the card. Now, there was nothing that I wrote inside there, but everything that I felt about my love for my kids and that I miss them very much. Because of that, I was charged in prison again. And I had to go to the prison. Now, in case you don't know, there is a court in prison where you're being sentenced again. So I was sentenced to, now I didn't share this with you. I was sentenced to prison, and that's 2 days isolation.
Oh, okay. So 4 walls, no one's there, only a door for you.
Yeah, so total isolation.
And
so I've been to prison. So I want to tell you that. And yeah, and another low point was when I was one of the things that we get to do is read newspaper, and I saw there was a full newspaper article, and I was just reading, and suddenly I recognized the photo on the newspaper on Straits Times. I remember it was August 11, 2011, and I was reading newspaper. I saw a picture of my daughter and my father-in-law. Apparently, Straits Times was featuring about kids learning how to swim at a young age. And I saw my daughter there. And I was excited, but I suddenly broke down. And I broke down. I said, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? So I told myself that, if I ever were to come out, I want to make sure that, I can get back whatever that my family lost. And with faith in God, because I have faith in God, I believe that God is a restorer. He can restore people. I've read, of course, I'm a Christian. And because I read in the Bible, in the Old Testament, God restores people, even though David murdered and did something wrong, and still God was able to restore, as long as you repent. He repent. Yeah, so I repented, and I told God, I want you to restore, and I want to do good for my family. I want to, make it back. And I was full of faith when I came out, in fact, and I told my wife I was going to have a $50 million online business. I don't know how that was going to come about. I didn't know what it was going to be. But I came out, and right now my business has passed almost $80 million US in revenue.
Wow.
And awesome. So it has already come to pass. So I think holding on and having faith is very important, especially when you're down. And even if you did any mistake, I do believe one thing is that if you repent, forget about your past.
Yes, I agree. I mean, you've been through such a tough time over there, and the prison has taught you so much, right? That school didn't teach, and that was one of the pivotal point that you mentioned.
I think one thing prison taught me was not having a choice. I think you didn't have to go to prison to teach you that, but some people do. I have no choice inside there. See, the only way I can improve myself in prison, how was I able to compete with all the people out there who are still working and getting experience and doing business? I'm going to set back a couple of years back.
Yes, I agree.
So I told myself in prison, the only thing I can do in prison was read. So I read voraciously. I read over 3 years, I read over 300 books.
Wow.
From personal development books to Warren Buffett books on investing, value investing, from business entrepreneurs. Books written by all the successful entrepreneurs, personal development, everything I read that I could get my hands on.
Nice.
And that was the only way I felt that other people out there would not have the opportunity to do. So that's when I realized that, and one of the things, look at Nelson Mandela. I mean, he was in prison for 20 over years.
Yes.
Yeah, and yet he could be made a president.
Yeah, even Gandhi. Look at him. Oh.
Yeah, so I do believe that the moment your heart is right, is set in the right place,
yep,
you forget about your past.
Yes.
I believe in that.
I
Okay?
agree.
So if you did anything wrong in the past, you wronged someone, you took money, or you did something wrong, forget about it. Just change yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to do good now. I'm going to repent, and I'm going to do good right now. And whatever happens in the past, it's not going to matter anymore.
Yes.
And that's one thing I learned.
Yep.
Yeah, and there always will have a positive situation in whatever negative situation, like we are right now with COVID-19.
Yep.
There is a lot of opportunities out there.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And it takes someone to get out of that state of fear to see that.
Yep, I agree. I mean, like, you know, people who are always in the negative, they will not be able to think about the solutions. They will always be thinking about the problems instead of the solutions.
Yep.
So that's why you have to shift that mindset. That's why this show is all about as well. It is to encourage you to shift that mindset. I'm grateful that so many of you are tuning in right now. You know, like Hisham, Philip, Jane Moore, especially Jane has mentioned that, you know, your story is amazing and it's encouraging for her. So kudos to Jane from the States as well. And there's so many people that's tuning in. You know, I wanted to ask you this as well. You know, after being through all this, are there any mistakes that you would wish that you didn't make at all?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah, like all this that
mistakes?
You have been through.
Okay, so I've learned from my journey as an entrepreneur is that you want to make mistakes. You definitely should be okay with making mistakes. Okay. The only mistake that I should have avoided is the mistake of trying to know everything.
Okay.
The mistake of trying to learn, like, okay, see, most of us, if you have ever gone to university and stuff, I've never been to university, okay? And the interesting part is that I'm now applying to go to university.
Really? Okay.
Wow. Well, out of interest, okay, not that I need the paper at all, but you know, just for the interest of it.
Okay.
Of the topic that I was interested to study anyway.
Okay.
So the key thing a lot of us are taught in school is that you have to understand A to Z first before you can get a job, right? Before you can get to do something successfully. But I want to tell you the truth is that all entrepreneurs, okay, do not learn A to Z first before they start.
They went to try first, is it?
All right, they do first.
Yeah.
They do what's really in front of them first. It's like the best analogy, an easy analogy would be like swimming, okay? You can't go for a study, you sign up for the 3-day workshop. I know some of you probably buy courses or maybe, you know, go to some guru talk, run to the back, sign up a few $1,000s for the course and you attend a 5-day course and you hope that when you come out from the course, you're like, whoo, wow, suddenly you're successful. It doesn't work that way, okay?
Yeah.
And I can tell you this for truth, okay? Having seen this industry of so-called guru seminars, the results that you can get is not, you can't know everything in the 5 days, okay? I guarantee you, if you have no experience at all in business, you attend any 5-day course, any 3-day course, you come out, you're going to still fail. Okay? Those of them who really give testimonials that they really did very well after attending course is because they already had a background in doing whatever they need to do, and all they need to know what's the next step, and they were lost. They didn't know what was the next step, and they found the next step that they needed to do in the course. That they needed to step forward, and that's why they had the results. Now, if you have totally no experience in business, nothing at all, you attend any course. If you've never done sales before, even worse, if you have been a clerk all your life, or you have been an admin, or maybe even an accountant all your life, you are not very little, you don't deal a lot with people, not very good people, you can attend any marketing course, 5-day, 10-day, you pay 10,000, you will still not have success. Okay?
I agree.
The way you do it is you have to step forward. It's like swimming. If you want to learn how to swim, you can't attend a 3-day, 5-day course to swim. You have to step in the water first. So whatever you want to do today, if you want to start a YouTuber, you want to start a podcast, you don't need a full course before you can start. You start first. You do what, you know, like Rayson. I mean, do what he does, okay? I mean, are you still a nurse?
Yeah.
He's still a nurse, okay?
Yes.
Does he need to be a guru first before he can do podcasts?
No.
or doing this interview. You don't need to.
No.
You just have to just do it first.
Yep.
Don't worry about mistakes, okay? And I tell my kids this, okay? When my kids do test papers and they get mistakes, I don't use cross. I always use circle. I say the point why I use circle, because cross means like you're wrong, you're bad. Okay, I never use cross. My wife taught me this, okay, not me. I want to give credit to my wife.
Okay.
She puts circle, and we tell our kid, it's okay, that circle is not that you're wrong. That circle is meant for you to learn.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yep.
So you don't be afraid of taking tests.
Okay.
Right? Starting a YouTube channel is a test. Starting an e-commerce store is a test. Take that test. Just go ahead and do that test first. Right? All you need to know is enough for you to just do that test. Now, if you make mistake in that test, congratulations.
Okay.
That's how you learn. When you make, see, the training, the courses that you attend, that you buy, is only useful once you've already stepped into the water.
Yep.
And when you step in the water and you're not getting breakthrough and you're like, I step in the water, but I know I'm doing some mistakes that I don't know where the mistake go wrong. That's when having a mentor, all right, or that's when having a course might be useful. But in the beginning, you just have to watch enough YouTube videos, and YouTube and Google's are good enough for you to get started.
Yep.
On anything.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
When you started this interview thing, was there any course that you bought?
No.
To learn how to do this?
No. So in fact, right, when I started my podcast, I was just listening to other people's podcasts. And credit to Joe Brown, who has been influencing me, and I'm still in contact with him. He is the one who impacted me a lot with his podcast. So what I did was that I just had the idea of doing it, but it took me 3 years. Okay, 3 years because I was working, I was doing my other things as well, and I decided to make it, and then I made the decision to ask my first guest to appear on my show, and then after that, he was agreeable with it, and then that's where the whole thing started.
Just a leap of faith.
Yeah, just a leap of faith.
A lot of times what you guys want to do is just a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Step into the water first, step in the water and trust that the mistake that you make, or trust that whatever that's coming to you, it will work out there when you arrive there. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship is about not knowing the whole journey. It's about stepping forward and trusting that once you are there, somehow it will lead you to go to the next step.
Correct. I agree. I mean, like for podcasting, for example, right? I wanted to make it so impactful with so many amazing guests, but I didn't get, the most influential speakers in US or UK at the start. I traded up first, right? So for all of you that wanted to do a podcast and you want to do an interview style like how I'm doing right now, you can do a trade up as well. So it doesn't mean that you have to, go out there and forcefully ask them to be a part of it, or always kissing their asses by, saying that, oh wow, you're so amazing, I love you, and then next moment they'll come. No, it's just like how Winston saw my sincerity, how much I've been working hard on this podcast, even though I do not have thousands of views during a live, like how Gary Vee has, like thousands, 10,000s of people watching on the show, and all the comments keep coming up and up and up. But it's okay. I don't care if I have hundreds or thousands of people that's watching. What I care about is the value that I'm giving to people. It doesn't matter whether am I top 10, top 100 podcasts in the whole entire world or whole of Singapore. It's all about, people say about algorithm and all this kind of stuff, but all this are just superficial in a sense. It's just to like what I mentioned, like what I've discussed with one of my friends just now before I came here, Caleb. So he told me it's about a style. It's just a style of how things are going to happen. Some people have that algorithm of people. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you need to have that. Sometimes somehow quality, like what Jane is talking, quality over quantity. Right? I have Mary Buffett that's watching. I had Peng Joon that's watching the Legacy show. I have Joel Bauer that's watching the show. I have people that are way more of credibility that are watching the show, and that's how they got connected with me.
Yeah,
that's
all you did was take a leap of faith.
Yeah, and that's how they asked me to interview them, and not me asking them to interview to get that interview as well, right? So I mean, this is something that I truly believe in. And also at the same time, as we are talking so much about faith, it doesn't matter which religion you're in, which culture you're born in, or which country you're in right now. You know, it's all about how much trust you have in yourself and in Him or in whatever God or whatsoever that you believe in, that you are able to take a step or 2 steps or 3 steps forward towards your goals and your dreams. I have friends who told me that they want to be a full-time photographer, but they are still, you know, doing that as a hobby while they are studying their professor, or they are studying something else, right? Or they are starting their own business, and then at the same time on the side they are teaching people how to wrestle, they are teaching people how to do yoga, they're teaching people a lot of different things. But it doesn't mean that you are not able to get 1,000 views or $1,000 right now means that you are a failure. No, it's just the process.
Yeah. In fact, there's a book written about it. It's called Ego is the Enemy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Heard of it.
Yeah, so a lot of times people don't do something because of their ego. They're afraid that they will make a mistake. Now, that's the mistake. That's the real mistake. You know, in fact, if you tell yourself that, you know what, I'm humble enough to learn. You know, if you practice real humility, then you have a lot of faith, and your faith is you just move forward and know that it's okay. You know, if you make a mistake, you know, you have the humility to learn from it. You're not afraid of losing face or things like, because those things are not important, right? What you want to, what's important is really you learn. You know, and I told my children this. I say, you know, school is not for you to know whether how smart you are. School is meant for you to learn.
Correct.
All right. So if you make any mistakes, it's actually mistakes are meant for you to learn. It's not meant for you to, you know, it's not meant for you to say how good you are.
Yeah.
Right. Because so ego is really your real enemy.
Yes.
And one of the things is that if you open up your heart and not let ego get in the way, you just have to take massive action, make a lot of mistakes, make as much as you can. You want to fail fast. I think fail forward, fail fast. I think you guys, if you've been listening to, you know, all this kind of personal development books and shows, you will have known good enough. So, you know, ask yourself, how many times did you fail today? Forward, right?
Okay.
How much faith did you take a leap? Sometimes all you need in your heart is to just tell you know what, you should do this. You should do this. All right, just go do it. Don't second guess. The only time you should guess if you're doing something that is life-threatening.
Yep.
Okay, like getting on this show. I delayed quite a while on getting the show because I was thinking, should I share my story on this show? You know, and it took me a while.
Yeah, you know, it took us about what, last year September, October that we met all the way until now. So more than 3 months. 4 months,
he's asking me, so I'd be like,
so I was like,
you know.
Okay, so thankfully, you know, I have a lot of other guests that's being piled up, and then I said, okay, you know what, I give you some chance. Okay, give me chance. for you know, being ready, okay, for the show. Okay, but of course, you know, you see, I as much as I want people to come onto the show, like people like Nas Daily and all, of course it will take some time, right? I'm still in the process of getting people like Ryan Serhant, okay, or people like there's this guy that was pretty good in what's his name again? Let me think. There's this guy, Neil Patel, right? All these amazing people that I have connections with, right? They are also coming on board. Robert Kiyosaki, well, you know, not many people like him, but of course there are still hardcore fans of his. Just like how many of you that are hardcore fans of my show, right? Yeah. So I'm really grateful for you guys that you guys have been watching, and even though some of them are not live. Okay, some of them are not live because we have some issues with going live with international guests. Okay, but of course you are still supporting it, you're still watching it, and there are people still recommending people to come on board the show, which I'm really blessed with it. You know, I truly believe in offering value, and like how you see Jane is like typing so many amazing comments again and again, which I will reply to you later on. And of course, you know, I want you guys to receive the value that I can give you. It doesn't matter whether it is Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Paul Gadder, Steve Sims, or Winston, or whosoever that's coming. What I want is that I want people who are authentic. I want people who are true to you guys. I want people who are willing to share, who are not a poser, like, share so much on Facebook, on Instagram, but then in real life, they are deep down, they are hurting inside, okay? I want people that are genuinely generous in giving. That's why I managed to get people like Winston, get people like Gary, Grant, and all these people that are willing to help, willing to add value to your life, my life, and everybody's life. Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you guys want to know, or what else do you want to know?
Sure. So I want to ask you, right? You have to go through all this very painful stories, very painful incidences where you have to be in the cell, in the cell alone or with people that you do not know, and then also at the same time you are also lost, you are also hurt because you made a mistake, you blame yourself, you doubt yourself, and etc., right? How did you overcome this adversity? How did you tell yourself that, hey, it's time to let go, I forgive myself, it's time to carry on? How did you do that?
I think I mentioned that earlier. I read the Bible, so that helped me a lot actually. It's my faith in God that helped me to overcome all this.
Okay.
And when I do that, I learn not to trust in myself. And when I learn not to trust myself, it takes the ego part out of me, I feel.
Okay.
Of wanting to be the good person. It helps me to realize that I am not invisible. I am not like someone who's very smart or somebody, I realize that I learn to be more reliant on God. That also helps me to have faith and humility to move forward.
Okay.
Because it's the ego that's, some people, why do they commit suicide? I mean, I ask myself that, because I've seen people in the cell try to commit suicide.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And to me, again, it's still back to the ego is the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah, the ego of they cannot accept themselves that what happens to their life because they see themselves as too important.
Okay.
All right, and that's why it's ego.
Okay.
So I realized that the real truth to help people not to get over problems in life, it's not about how good they are or how strong they are. And I realized the more you depend on you, some people go into depression. In fact, I want to say this. My wife recently wrote a book with a group of women who have gone through a lot of hardships.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So So in that book, my wife revealed that 1 week before I went to prison, my brother-in-law went and jumped.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 week before I went in prison, my brother-in-law jumped and he committed suicide.
Okay.
Depression. Why? Because he was trying to find answers within himself. He was trying to to satisfy his own ego, and people who are depressed, they are focused too much on themselves.
I see.
You work with the most number of depressed people in the world. I mean, ego people there.
Maybe. I mean, people who are suffering from depression, even though they are some of them, they are very egoistic, but of course they are at the same point. Ego equates to low self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. That's why they wouldn't want to share so much to other people, because they believe that no one will understand or no one will even care. But the ironic part is this: when the more you share, the more people can relate to you, the more people can feel you. That's why whenever I meet people, regardless whether they are new to me or old friends or whatsoever, whenever they ask me about my life story, I'll just share. I don't care whether do they laugh at me at the back or whatsoever, because I still believe that they will still answer to that person when they die, right? That spirit or whatsoever. But ultimately, I believe that as long as I'm doing my best to serve you guys, to serve the world, serve God or whatever that you believe in, then ultimately all the blessings and abundance will come into place.
Yep.
It's all about the timing, I would say, sometimes.
Yep.
It's not so much about, oh, you want it now means it will happen now. Sometimes it will take one day, sometimes it will take 1 month, sometimes it will take a year for it to come into a fruition. It's just like me building a tribe with you guys, right? And I would like to thank, Nasri to be here. Okay, so he's just over on my left side, where he is helping us to film like how D-Rock does with Gary Vee. Okay, so a lot of amazing things that's coming out for 2020, even though it's the darkest period of the whole humanity, which is like COVID 2019, okay, where everyone are so fearful, everyone are rushing in to buy, take toilet papers, tissue papers, and I'm not sure why they need it, okay, but ironically, right, they, instead of thinking about now, sometimes you also have to think about the future, because if you go in the long-term game, it will eventually help you right now. It will eventually help you, in my opinion. Yeah, because when you focus about the legacy rather than right now, then all the more certain things will happen along the way, which are good. Some can be bad because it's meant to teach you a lesson, teach you something that you thought you are good at, but apparently you're not. Right? So I truly believe in this. And I would like to ask you, right, as you mentioned that you handle adversity through reading the Bible, through, some support, I believe, from family as well.
Yeah, family, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm very grateful. My family has been very supportive all through my 2 years in prison.
Yep.
None of my family members left me. In fact, it brought the family closer.
Okay,
both my
nice.
in-laws and my mom's side, and when I came out, my in-laws, everyone was very happy to have me back home.
Yep,
and I can
agree.
say that I'm very blessed.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, so what are the steps that people that are watching this show right now can do if, let's say, they are facing an adversity at home, in the office, at work, or any part of their life? What can they do? What are some small little steps that they can do to overcome it?
Yeah, to talk about all this, if you go to medium.com, there's a lot of thousands of personal development books out there. I think all the answers are already out there. There are people blogging about, even if you won't buy the book, there's summaries of those books written out there on Amazon.
Yep.
So you can go to Amazon bestseller, find all those books that has a lot of reviews. Go and type in the book title with the word summary. You probably can find someone written a summary on whatever answers that you need.
Okay.
But so my answer is short. My answer is the ego is the enemy. So I think if you if you are facing any adversity right now, you have to trust something that's bigger than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have to trust something bigger than you, than yourself.
True.
Yeah. So to me, family love is very important. I trust in my family's love for me, and of course, good friendship.
Oh, thank you.
Genuine friendship, authentic friendship.
Thank you.
And more importantly is my trust in God.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
In knowing that He takes care of me. And so whatever adversity right now I'm facing right now, whatever I'm going to face in the past, I no longer feel that I would have fear, even if they even have a COVID-19 right now, even if I was like in ICU right now.
Okay.
I would think that I still trust in something other than myself.
Nice. Okay. Wow. Awesome. Now we are going to go to the next segment, okay, whereby we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and business. Okay, we talk a lot about how you overcame your adversities, about your life story. Okay, for those who just tune in, you can watch the replay later, or you can listen to the podcast in iTunes and Spotify. I want to ask you, right? Everyone watching right now, or those who are tuning in, right? They will have this idea, to start a business.
Yeah.
They will think that, hey, since the Legacy Show has been showing about business and all this, I want to start a business. I want to create a business so that I can have this financial freedom, time freedom, and all this whatnot, right? So how do you know when you have that right idea?
You don't really know that you have the right idea.
You never know.
You don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
In fact, you have to trust your instinct in you. You have to trust your instinct because whatever ventures that I went in, like my recent ventures that crossed 80 million in 69 countries.
Yep.
I never did plan for that to happen. I never thought that would happen.
Okay.
I just follow what tugs at my heart, what pulls you to do something.
Yeah.
If you feel inspired to do, like an interview, then start doing it.
Okay.
If you feel inspired to go and do YouTube, go do it. If you feel inspired to do Shopify, go do it. If you feel inspired to do FBA, go do it first. Okay. And just trust. I know a lot of you want to have, step by step and things like that. But I tell you the truth, there are many people who have bought many courses, who attend many courses, and are still nowhere.
Yep, I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
And the key thing is really ask yourself, if you're in a season in your life right now, you don't feel like you want to start anything, then it's okay not to start. Be okay with not starting yet.
Okay.
If you feel like someone shared with you something and you feel like, hey, you know what, that feels right to go do it, even though you don't know how to do it, you just go do it first. And I always believe that your heart, or maybe God, everyone has that in them that will lead them towards where they feel. But a lot of times they let fear stop them. A lot of times they let unfound fear. And 99.99% is unfound fear. The only fear you should fear is death. If anything is life-threatening, then you should fear. In fact, you should even fear walking out in the street because, more people die on the street than people die doing business.
Okay. True.
All right. So more people die on the street than doing business. Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody I know ever done business, fail and died. So that's not going to happen.
Okay.
So one of the things that I always tell people do is just follow your heart. Okay. Then a lot of people will tell you, hey, you know what, do this business right now is very good, that business is good right now. There are thousands of opportunities out there. There's affiliate marketing, there's different kind of affiliate marketing, different affiliate companies, different network marketing companies, thousands of them, different business model, even building website, flipping websites, whatever, writing ebooks. There are different ways of making money, okay?
Yes.
So the only thing right now is in this sea of this thousands of opportunities out there, it's no wonder a lot of people are confused because they imagine if you go to one, you have to know everything about that, and then you find out that another one says this is good, and then you go to the other one, you know everything about that. I mean, you never get started. So one thing you gotta ask yourself is sometimes you need time to quieten down your heart and just quieten down of all the things that you have. What tugs in your heart most that you want to move towards and do.
Nice.
Okay? And just trust and move forward first and just do that first.
Okay?
Just do that first. Now, a mentor will be useful when you start doing that and you hit a problem. Okay?
Yes.
So a tuition teacher is useless if you have never done math before. If you already have practice and then you go and do math and there were some questions that you didn't know how to solve it and you were stuck, then a mentor or maybe a course or pay someone to help you overcome problems will work. But if you have not even started yet, then no course will help you. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
So you don't have to know when enough is enough and just trust and move forward. With that. So there is no right, and even every business model is changing. Right now it's Amazon. Who knows what's next? I mean, Shopify now is affected because of this COVID virus. Shipping is people are having telling me they're having shipping issues with China and things like that, right? So all these things will come, and business will always evolve. So you got to ask yourself whether as much as I want to say that everybody is capable of doing business, which I feel technically everyone is capable, but not everybody is psychologically capable. Why do I say that? Because not everybody is. Some people have a lot of mindset block. Like they think I'm not good enough for business. I'm not that they cannot do it, cannot study, learn, read, and do. Is that they have a mindset block that they can't do it. So that's more psychological than physically being able to do it.
Okay.
And I look at Nick Vivici. I mean, he has no arms and no legs. He's a millionaire.
Yeah, and
right?
He has a wife.
Yeah, he has a wife and a beautiful wife and
kids.
and kids. So I just want to say that if you feel business is where you want to be in, serving people is what you want to do, if that is if that tugs at your heart, just by all means, just go do it.
Yes.
Find someone like what he did that inspires you and just copy that person and start something. You may not be able to copy him exactly, I'm sure. Who was it that you said that you inspired you? Brown.
Joel Brown. Yes.
Joel what?
Joel Brown.
Joel Brown. Joel
Yes.
Brown, right?
Yeah.
Joel Brown, right?
Yes.
I'm sure he's not as fluent as Joel Brown, right?
Yep.
Right? And
Yes.
I'm not good at interviewing either
Oh.
as an interviewee. So the key thing is just get it going. Follow your heart. Just go in first.
Yep.
You will know. If you make a mistake, then go ask. Just go and ask.
Yes.
Ask anybody. Ask him. You want to do podcasting? You have issues. You started tonight. There was some technical issue. Just message him.
Yep. Just message me.
Yeah, just message him. Okay.
That's how I'm grateful that I can inspire Gabriel Wong. I can inspire another friend of mine, Jason, to start their own podcast. And now Gabriel has his own podcast, and he has hit like top 3 in the whole of education and business. I'm very happy for him, right? And same goes with Jason. He is asking TED Talk speakers to come onto his show. So you see, all this are amazing, right?
Oh yeah, let's say even if you did social media, okay, and you had some issues, okay, come on, go LinkedIn, go search for Gary Vee, go like him, just ask Gary Vee, go to Twitter, go answer his tweet, get his attention, just ask him the questions, You don't have to worry about what people think. One thing, if you want to do business, you want to become an entrepreneur, is ego is the enemy.
Yes.
You don't want to feel like, what would they think about me? Am I intruding someone?
Yep.
And you can always ask people things politely.
Yes, I agree.
Right? There's nothing wrong with asking people polite. You don't have to I'm a nobody, that's ego working in you. I'm a nobody. I don't think I can ask. He's too far away. Or Gary Vee is somebody is somewhere. Winston is whatever. How big they are. I know. I don't want to ask them. I'm afraid that I may offend them. Well, I mean, if you ask politely, what offense is there?
Yeah, I know.
There's no offense to that, right?
Yeah.
The only offense you're offending is yourself.
Yes.
Your ego is offending you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
So stop letting your ego stop you from doing what you should be doing.
Yeah. And also at the same time, I'm the most famous uneven teeth interviewer ever. Okay, right? Okay, in a sense, okay, people laugh at it as well. But of course, you need to know how to have a good laugh about yourself as well.
Yeah. I'm not perfect, I
Yeah.
don't think people might trust me because I look too young.
Well, you look young. You look way younger.
I'm in my 40s, so some people just think that.
But
I just took
you're 30s, right?
I just took a Grab Uber ride just now, and the driver was surprised and said, he asked me because I was going to the east side, and he was asking me, so where are you studying? I said, I did have intention to study, but actually I'm in my 40s, So, but anyway, so I would think that who would trust me? Right? I mean, I've gone to prison for goodness sake. I've charged 44 charges.
Yep.
I mean, who would want to listen to someone who has gone through that? But you know what? Ego is my enemy, right? So I'm not going to let ego get in my way of sharing my story with you guys.
Yep. Well, so now, you have actually mentioned that if people want to, have the idea, once you have the idea, just go. And also at the same time, you've also mentioned that you had to try it out. And when you try it out, you apparently first started, and then after that, in 1 month, few months, you hit 6 figures, or even now, right now, you have hit like millions of dollars, right? I would like to actually ask you, so how can anyone, build their $1 million business from scratch?
Okay, the only thing is, I'm sure if you have been on his show, Legacy Show, he has interviewed a lot of millionaires. And I'm sure this is a question that's asked many times as well. And everyone's going to give a different perspective.
Yes.
Obviously, because everyone has a different experience.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
So my experience, this is my experience. So my experience is that to build a $1 million business takes one step at a time again. Yep. So for me, it's a customer base. Okay, so you there's many ways to get to $1 million. I mean, I could sell 10 houses, each house I make $100,000, $1 million. Okay. In commission, right?
Yes.
So it really depends on the nature of what for me, to make $1 million in real estate, well, send 10 houses, each house that will pay you, each house at about 10 million, and each house 10 million, you get a commission of 100K. So, you sell 10 houses, that's $1 million already.
Okay.
If you're doing e-commerce, you want to make $1 million profit, depending on how much profit you're making from each product you're selling, then you can calculate backwards on how much customers you would need.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, the journey to $1 million is not, I would say, for the benefit of everybody, to just calculate backwards.
Okay.
Okay? For me, I feel it's just calculating backwards. It's just asking yourself, okay, I want to make $1 million. Okay, great. What are you going to sell? Okay, just pure math, okay? What are you going to sell? What's the profit margin for what you're going to sell? Okay, so how many you need to sell? How many customers that you need to have to hit that $1 million, right?
Yep.
And then from there, you work backwards. And you start with the first customer, and then the 10 customer, and then 100 customers, and then eventually you will get there.
Nice. Wow.
For me, is getting out there and working very hard in the beginning.
Okay.
So for me, my business is more on the like affiliate marketing model. It's actually using kind of like network marketing model on e-commerce.
Okay.
So basically for me I find the right target segment of people that would love the products that I'm marketing.
Okay.
So I will have a lot of customers. So in the beginning, I work 12 hours. I work very hard like anyone else, right? Because I need to get the numbers in.
Yep.
Okay. It's not about every day meditating, having the right SEO or the right tweaking my ad and spending the time optimizing, learning CVO and no. For me, it's really going out there to get the customers.
Okay.
Every hour, I should be out there getting customers.
Out there is in online or offline?
Yeah, whether I'm online, whether I'm offline,
Okay.
depends on the nature of your business. If you're in real estate, you might have to do online. Some people do door knocking, it works for them. At least you're meeting someone every day.
Yes.
If you're on Facebook, if you requires you to do sales maybe for wealth planners, then every hour keep reaching out to people. Right? You just keep, as long as you're reaching out to people, there is a chance. If you're not reaching out to people, there is zero chance. Right now, he's reaching out to people. All of you guys are watching right now.
Yep.
If I would, if he did podcasts like every day, which is not every day, is it every day?
No, it's
not
every
day.
week.
Okay, every week. Okay,
Every
so
week.
if you did every day, you reach out more people, right?
Yeah.
But do you know your numbers? How many people do you need to hit before you can get, the amount of money in or something like that? You need to calculate backwards. It's all math.
Okay.
Right? So don't overcomplicate things.
Yep.
There's no easy way. There's no easy way to do it.
Yes.
There's no shortcut to do it.
Yep.
But there is, you can use math and you can know to get your 10 customers, your 100 customers, and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So for me, is knowing who my customer is and reaching out non-stop and have a customer base. Once I have a huge customer base, I turn the best fans of my products into affiliates where I partner with them. I train them how to do it because they're really fans of the product. I train them, they help me market, I get a cut from that. So with that right now, I've cut down I have a customer base of about 50,000 customers in 69 countries.
Wow.
With a couple hundred affiliates.
Okay.
And that shrinks down my working time to 6 hours, yet I'm able to generate a 5 to 6 figures
Nice.
business.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So, but in the beginning, I didn't work 3 years to build up my base. So work the numbers.
Okay. So like what Winston said, work the numbers and make sure that you know what is it that you want to sell. And of course, when you work back the numbers, you make sure that it just tallies, and don't just think that, oh, Gary Vee is earning this much, so you have to be the same amount as him, or you want to be the same amount as Grant Cardone or anyone else. Just work out something that you want and you plan it out, and then after that you go and get it done.
Yeah. And I want to tell you this. Jane said that it takes time to build business. It does.
It does
take time to build business, but if you take massive action, you can speed it up. Okay?
Okay.
A lot of people say it takes time to do it, but it's like what? 1 hour a day, half an hour a day. You know what? Nothing ever gets done. I tell you why you shouldn't go slow. Okay? If you go slow and steady, here's what happens.
Okay.
You take 30 minutes to learn social media.
Okay.
Every day, okay? That's not going to give you enough experience to really get something off ground. So you take half an hour every day and half an hour and half an hour. Let me tell you what happens, okay? At the end of 1 year, maybe you took half an hour to learn Facebook. By the time 1 year later, is whatever that you learn that you apply in the half an hour time,
Yep.
Facebook has changed already. All right, like if you take half an hour to learn how to do Facebook ads,
Yep.
maybe by the time 1 year later, the algorithm for Facebook ads has changed. Okay, and so whatever you try half an hour, it's not working anymore. So to me, I subscribe to the idea of massive action.
Okay, nice.
Right, so if you're a full-time job like you, you know, whatever that's trending right now, you want to go put in as much hours as you possibly can.
Yes.
One of the person that I knew that was a successful internet marketer, when he was having a job, he was spending 7 hours online on internet marketing while having a full-time job.
Okay. What's his name? Very familiar.
I'm not going to mention his name. It's the person that I took the money from.
Oh, sorry. Okay, my bad. Okay.
But he just came into my mind. But many of them do that. So, you know, you got to really have a passion. You need to go forward, take massive action, because you need to know that whatever you're learning right now is the techniques, whatever, is going to change.
Yes, correct.
It's going to change. So you got to do massive action.
Yep, and if you, like what Jane said, I am bad in math, then if you are bad in math, go and get someone who is good in math. If let's say your husband is good in math, go and get him, grab him, help you calculate, help him, let him be your accountant.
Yeah, you being bad at, by the way, nobody is bad at anything, okay?
Yes.
I always tell my children this. My children say, oh, mommy, I'm bad at Chinese and Mandarin. You know, I'm not good at Mandarin. So I tell them, say, no, it's not that you're not good at Mandarin, it's just that you don't learn it enough.
Yep, correct.
Do you want to learn it? That's my question to them then.
Yeah.
If you want to learn it, you definitely will become good.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you want to learn it?
Yes, I agree. And I believe like you have to be obsessed about that thing that you want. And then of course you don't go obsessed until you become crazy, okay, until you become psychotic. No. What I meant by being obsessed is that when you are obsessed about certain things, you love certain things, doing certain things, go and do it. And when it's time for you to rest, rest. When it's time for you to hustle, hustle. When it's time for you to play, play. When it's time for you to hang out, hang out. When it's time for you to meet your friends, go. When it's time for this and that, go. Okay? It is not so much about, the hustle, the grind, and like how Gary Vee always say, work like as if you got the idea, the concept that he's working 24/7. No. He has a team that's working for him, and he's only working a couple of hours, or maybe even 5-6 hours, or maybe even lesser than that you didn't even know, because he has a huge team, huge pool of people that's helping him right now. Okay, if you're a solopreneur, no choice, you have to work it out, and then you go Fiverr, go Upwork, go anywhere to find people to help you.
In the beginning, you really have to take massive action. If you look at all the people like Warren Buffett, if you really trace back to the early days, Steve Jobs early days, Mark Zuckerberg early days, they worked like crazy. It was almost to the point of I wouldn't say obsession, but very, very, it's like gaming. I don't know if you guys ever game that you were so engrossed in the game that you can play game overnight.
Yeah.
Okay, like that extent, okay? So if you really love something, you really want to succeed in business, you really love social media marketing, then by all means, go full on with, like almost like obsessed over playing the game, of business. Yep. And that definitely will accelerate your learning curve. And that is a fact. That will definitely accelerate your learning curve.
Yep.
So one of the things is really find something that you could pour yourself in. Okay. The key thing is nobody is actually bad at anything. It's whether you want to learn or not.
Yes.
If you want to learn, then you can't really be bad at anything. Right? If you really have interest in something, then you can't really be bad at it, because if you really put in a lot of time in it, you'll definitely become good at that. So so that is my take on that. Yep,
it's just how amateurish you are, becoming intermediate, and then becoming a pro, and then becoming an expert.
Yeah, and the world gives you a lot of example. Like my kid, okay, my twin daughters.
Yep.
Recently, they have been pretty obsessed with gymnastics. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And because they used to go to gymnastics like twice a week, and now they're doing 7 times a week. And each training session is about 2.5-3 hours. It's like, and they're now representing their school. I didn't push them for it. In fact, I'm a little bit like I don't really give much attention to it, but I saw that they were really obsessed over it. They really like it, enjoy it very much.
Yep.
And you can see that they do spend more hours. And within the last 2 months, the coaches told me their performance just skyrocketed.
Wow.
And so
it's all because you're very
enthusiastic plus time.
Yeah.
So it's not about taking your own sweet time. It's about, in the beginning, if you have not got any results in, you got to put in massive action.
Yes, and keep practicing.
It will take time, but you take massive action.
Correct.
Taking time doesn't mean you take slow.
Yes, okay, cool, understand. So now we are coming to the second last question, okay. The question will be this, okay, if you were to start all over again,
Yeah.
okay, if you were to start all over again, what is your step-by-step approach, okay, that you will use to build everything back up again? If let's say you were being taken off, okay, everything, all your assets, all your money, everything were being taken off, how will you approach it?
Personally?
Yeah.
Okay, so that I speak for myself.
All right.
Personally, I would repeat what I'm doing right now. I will go back into doing health products still, because I think it's obvious. Okay,
Yep.
so I would find products that are unique. I'll build a business out of that.
Nice.
Right, I will still use online marketing.
Okay.
And yeah, I would still go back and rebuild that as well. And of course I'll create a lot more YouTube videos to add value to people, to build trust, to build a list again of people that will trust me based on what I share with them. And I always want to give them tips that are actionable, that they can apply and immediately get results to build trust. And then I'll get them to want to like be part of, to maybe want to hear more from me again. And then from there, who are my best fans?
Yep.
And then I would ask if they want to work together with me as my affiliate.
Okay.
And then if they want to work together as my affiliate, then I'll train them, and then we'll work together, and then and it goes on from there.
Nice. Wow. I saw that there's someone from Philippines that's watching as well. Hi. And okay, so now is the time when everyone are waiting for. Okay, they are waiting for this bonus question that we are going to give to you guys, this bonus value that we're going to give to you, and this bonus question that I'm going to ask him. Okay, and this question is this. Okay, we all know that you have been in this Amazon realm for being a bestseller. Okay, and you are helping many people, especially your students, to become a bestseller as well. All right, so what are the steps that we can take in order to become a best-selling author?
Okay. Anybody here wants to know how to become a best-selling author?
Yes.
And I think that whatever I'm going to share with you guys here, it's going to you can laugh about it.
Yep.
It's laughable, and I want to tell you this. It's laughable because any one of you can become a bestseller.
Really?
Yeah. Let me explain to you why. Okay. And this is something that maybe most of you are not aware because you never searched, but the answers are already there. Okay. Well, to become a bestseller, if you understand how Amazon algorithm works, is Amazon bestsellers, right, on Kindle, they update every hour.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And they have thousands of categories, a couple of hundreds of categories that you can dominate in.
Okay.
Now, the secret to become a bestseller is, number one, you don't need to write a book that's 200 or 100 pages long. Okay. The bestsellers that I've taught my students to do, their books on average are about 20-30 pages long only. Okay.
20 to 30 pages
yes.
long. Wow.
In fact, Amazon, the shortest book that allows you to publish on Amazon Kindle is 1 page.
1 page?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll be surprised, there are authors that write 1 page book and there are people buying. Don't take me on this. Go and just type on Google. Type Kindle 1 page short read on Google, and you will know more about that. Okay. So in other words, today, any one of you can become author. So there's a lot of things that you don't know. That's why you're not doing it. So first of all, you don't need to write a long story book, write a long book. Okay. In fact, you might even not want to write a 200-page book, because one of the reasons why I told my students not to write a 200 or 100-page book is that, number one, it takes a longer time for you to do it. Okay. Number two is, if you find that the topic no one has published and you got excited and you're going to write a 100-page book, two things that might happen. Number one, by the time you finish a 100-page book, someone could have already published that book. Okay. And some people take forever. Number one. Number two, even if you write a 100-page book, okay? You may not know that the book is something that everybody wants to read. You can't test yet, okay? So what I would suggest you do is, if you want to write a 100-page book, you can split that page into a series, like chapter 1 is 1 page, chapter 2 is page 2, second book, and then third book and fourth book. Make it into a series. That way, you can start testing your book first without having to write a full book yet.
Okay.
Okay. Now, unless you already are a famous author, you have a big following like Russell Brunson right now, who's selling his Traffic Secrets book.
Yes.
Right. Then maybe you wanna, and basically he may not. I don't think he even needs to write the book. Okay. He just pays someone to do it. He's got his content. He just got someone. Hey, I've got a video recording on do it. Can you just watch through my video and write the book for me? He probably did that. Okay.
Yep.
So you're not at the level of doing that. You don't have to do that, okay, to become a bestseller on Amazon. So you are a 20, 30-page book. The key thing about your book is, as long as this book, you feel that writing this book is good enough that it's going to help someone solve a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good enough for you to write a book, okay? So I did a 3-day class where I forced people live, within 8 hours they finish the book.
Okay.
Within 3 days, the book is on Amazon.
Nice.
And they're going to get sales. 100% of them had sales. 100% have sales in class.
Okay.
It's an experiment that I did out of faith again, right? And I did that, and everyone had sales. And a couple of them had bestseller status. And I'll tell you the secret to become bestseller status, okay? The bestseller status. You want to know the secret?
What's the secret?
Okay, I'm going to tell you the secret as well.
Yeah.
The secret is you publish your book, okay, on Amazon. Okay, and you launch in a category that has very little competitor. Okay, number one. Okay. Number two, you launch at around Singapore time, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Why? Okay, because most Kindle buyers are in America. All right, and they buy at a time when they're awake.
Okay.
So about 3 p.m. Singapore time would be around 4 a.m., 2 a.m.-ish or 4 a.m. in the United States and other parts of the world, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So that's where you have less competition.
Okay.
Okay? And you want to monitor the hour, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then you want people to tell all your friends, like, hey, you know what? Start ordering my book. It's only 99 cents.
Yep.
And only at 99 cents during this period, and you can change the price anytime you want, okay? You launch it only at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. You let everybody know first that you're going to launch this book, and you get them to buy 3 to 4 p.m. first, 4 p.m. okay? And only 3 to 4 p.m. They get the price.
Okay.
But you inform everybody one day beforehand, okay? And then when you launch the book 3 to 4 p.m., everybody's going to buy, and then look at the chart. Just look at that category chart, and just catch yourself, rise up on top 10 of Amazon bestseller, take a screenshot, there you have it.
Wow.
Amazon bestseller.
There you have it, man. All these are the secrets, but this is not the full secret yet. There's more. So if you guys are really interested to know more, okay, you can let me know, okay, that you are interested, and I will let you know how we can go about it in terms of his course. You can. Do you want to share more about what's going to happen? Like, there's a
in light of this COVID-19 virus plus this recent guy here, I had to do him a favor, so he asked for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another webinar. Okay, now this webinar, I won't be selling you anything at all. Okay, I want to say upfront first. Okay, so on this webinar, I'll be just giving you more details about the process of the Kindle writing process, how I help 100% people who attended my class get sales, all right, even before the book was published, collect money before the book was published, a bit more details on the process. What I've just give you just now was really the tip of the iceberg, exactly how to do it. But if you have more questions, you want to know how, we're probably going to have organize another session for that. Yep. All right, and if you want to do that, just let Rayson that you want to learn how to publish a book on Amazon in the fastest way possible. Yep. And get a bestseller status. You want more details on that, like maybe you want a step-by-step approach or whatever. We'll probably do that in a longer webinar, but not on today. Yeah. All right. So if you want to, it's a free class. Okay. So no back end, nothing, no selling anything. I don't need your money. So if you want, you can just let him know about that.
Yep. So if you want to,
Yeah, just drop him a message,
just
and then
drop me a
he'll
message.
let you know.
Yes, just drop me a message and we'll get the details to you. And one more thing. Okay, so now that you have already mentioned all this. Okay, so where can my audience find you on social media?
Facebook. Well, just type Winston YE. I can't promise that I'll approve all you guys as friends, okay? Because
Okay.
I don't know who you are. So
Yeah. So
okay, I tell you what. The best way to get my attention is, I don't know how. Okay, go to my Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
Just let me know that you were on Ray's show.
Yes.
Okay. Just let me know that you're on Ray's show.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So I know that you came from his Ray's show, because nowadays we have a lot of people adding me as friends, and because they know that I'm an influencer or somebody, and and there's a lot of scammers as well.
Yep. I agree.
Fake what do you call it, profiles as well. Right. So if you want, you can drop me a note and let me know that you got to know me through Rayson.
Yes.
So that at least I know where you come from. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have already come to the end of the show. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much once again.
Welcome.
Yes. And also at the same time, I would like to thank each and every one of you appearing, watching the whole show, tuning in from Singapore, US, Philippines, and more, India, and every other parts of the world. Thank you so much for appearing, for taking this time out to watch this, to listen, to learn, and I hope this has added value to you.
Yes.
And of course, if you want to know more about me, just go on to Facebook, Instagram, and all to check me out, and at Rayson Chu or Raygacy, Raygacy. And also at the same time, this podcast will be live on iTunes pretty soon. Okay, so check out iTunes, Spotify, and all the other major, I would say, podcast platform. We will be there. Okay, you will get to listen to it. Okay, you can listen to it on a commute or any parts of the world that you're in. Go and tune in, check it out. All right. So with that, thank you so much for this, and do stay tuned for more, because next week and the other weeks as well, we will be having a lot of women that's coming onto the show, and they are not from Miss Universe, okay, unfortunately, okay, but they are someone that are very influential in the business, entrepreneurship, and even marketing as well. So stay tuned for that. Okay, we're going to be live. Okay, we're going to be Facebook Live as well, and there will be a few more influential speakers that are from US that will be coming on board the Raygacy show as well, and they are also very popular in Forbes. They are popular in Fox News or CNBC or any part of the the whole media sector that they have been on. Entrepreneur magazine, success magazines, they have been on it before, so stay tuned for that. All right, so with that, thank you so much.
Welcome, Raygacy.
Yep.
Welcome, Winston. And
Yep.
welcome everybody. Thanks for listening in.
Yep.
I hope it wasn't a shocker for a lot of you, but I meant this to be a blessing for all of you.
Yep. So
All right, so take the leap of faith.
yes, take a leap of faith, and also at the same time, during this very dark period of time, stay hydrated, and also at the same time, stay blessed. Okay, so with that, take care. This is Rayson. Ciao. See you.
See you.